Hunter Biden. The name sparks debate. Some see a troubled son caught in a political crossfire. Others see a symbol of corruption. The truth, as always, is more complex. This isn't about partisan point scoring. It's about understanding how personal struggles intersect with immense power. Hunter Biden's story is messy, full of contradictions. We'll examine his career, the controversies, the legal battles. We'll also look at the impact on American politics and the media. Buckle up, folks, this one's gonna get bumpy. Hunter Biden's life has been marked by both privilege and tragedy. Born into a family with a significant political legacy, he experienced the highs of being part of a prominent American family and the lows of personal loss and public scrutiny. As the son of Joe Biden, who would eventually become the President of the United States, Hunter was thrust into the public eye from a young age. His father's early political career meant that the Biden family was often in the spotlight, navigating the complexities of public life. However, Hunter's early years were also marked by profound personal tragedy. When he was just a child, he faced unimaginable loss that would shape his life in ways he could never have anticipated. In a devastating car crash, Hunter's mother and sister lost their lives. This tragic event left a lasting impact on Hunter and his family, casting a shadow over their lives and influencing their future paths. Despite these early hardships, Hunter pursued a career in law, lobbying, and investment. He worked hard to establish himself professionally, navigating the challenges and opportunities that came his way. Some argue that his career benefited significantly from his family name and connections. Being a Biden opened doors that might have otherwise remained closed, providing him with unique opportunities in various fields. Others, however, point to his own qualifications and efforts. Hunter's education and professional experiences contributed to his career achievements, demonstrating his capabilities beyond his family ties. Yet, Hunter's journey has not been without its struggles. He has faced significant challenges with addiction, a battle that has been both deeply personal and highly publicized. His struggles with substance abuse have been a recurring theme in his life. These personal battles have often been exploited for political gain, with media headlines and political debates frequently focusing on his issues. The scrutiny has added another layer of complexity to his already challenging life. Understanding Hunter's past, including his triumphs and tribulations, is key to making sense of his present. His life story is a tapestry of privilege, loss, achievement, and struggle, each thread contributing to the person he is today. It's not an excuse for his actions, but it provides context. By looking at the full picture of Hunter Biden's life, we can gain a deeper understanding of the complexities he faces and the resilience he has shown in navigating them. Hunter Biden's business dealings, particularly in Ukraine, have drawn intense scrutiny. His involvement in the region has been a focal point for both media and political commentators, sparking debates and discussions across various platforms. His role on the board of Burisma Holdings, a Ukrainian energy company, raised eyebrows. Many question the timing and the nature of his appointment, especially given the geopolitical tensions and the company's controversial past. Critics allege this was a clear conflict of interest given his father's position as vice president at the time. They argue that Hunter's presence on the board could have been perceived as leveraging his father's political influence for personal gain. They claim Hunter used his name to enrich himself. The narrative suggests that his last name opened doors that might have otherwise remained closed, allowing him to secure lucrative positions and deals. Defenders argue he was a private citizen, free to pursue business ventures. They emphasize that Hunter, like any other individual, had the right to seek opportunities, and that his business activities were within legal bounds. They maintain there's no evidence of wrongdoing by either Hunter or his father. Legal experts and some political commentators point out that despite extensive investigations, no concrete evidence has surfaced to prove any illegal activities. The truth likely lies somewhere in the middle. While there are valid concerns about the optics and potential conflicts of interest, it's also important to consider the lack of definitive proof of any illegal actions. Was it wise for Hunter to take this position? Probably not. The decision to join Burisma's board, given the circumstances, was questionable and has undoubtedly led to significant public and political fallout. Was it illegal? That's for investigators to determine. The ongoing investigations will ultimately shed light on the legality of his actions, but until then, the debate continues, reflecting the complex interplay of politics, business, and personal choices. Hunter Biden's legal woes have been well documented. He faced investigations into his tax affairs, ultimately reaching a plea deal. He also faced a charge related to gun possession, admitting to owning a firearm while using drugs. This raised questions about his judgment and potential hypocrisy. These legal troubles fueled his critics, who saw them as proof of guilt. Supporters argued they were personal failings, unrelated to his father's political career. The legal battles continue, with the plea deal recently collapsing. This saga is far from over. Section 5. A deal undone. The plea agreement collapses. In a dramatic turn of events, Hunter Biden's plea deal fell apart in court. The plea agreement, which had been in the works for months, was expected to bring a resolution to the legal troubles that have plagued Hunter for years. The deal was supposed to address charges related to his taxes and a firearm possession incident, offering a path forward for the embattled son of the president. However, during a crucial hearing, the agreement unraveled. The courtroom was tense as the judge meticulously reviewed the terms of the deal. Legal experts and media personnel were on the edge of their seats, anticipating a straightforward approval. But the judge's probing questions soon revealed cracks in the agreement. The judge raised significant concerns about the constitutionality of the deal. He questioned whether the terms were too lenient, and if they adequately addressed the charges. This unexpected scrutiny threw the entire agreement into jeopardy, leaving both the defense and prosecution scrambling to respond. The collapse of the plea deal has now thrown Hunter Biden's legal fate into uncertainty. His legal team, visibly shaken, was seen huddling in intense discussions, trying to figure out the next steps. The prosecution, equally taken aback, must now reconsider their strategy. The case, which many thought was nearing its conclusion, is now back in a state of flux. The political ramifications of this development were immediate and intense. The collapse of the deal reignited the political firestorm surrounding Hunter and his father, President Joe Biden. Political rallies and news conferences quickly became battlegrounds for both sides of the aisle. Republicans seized on the development, claiming it proved their long-held suspicions of a cover-up. Conservative news outlets and commentators were quick to amplify these claims, suggesting that the plea deal was an attempt to shield Hunter from more severe consequences. On the other hand, Democrats urged patience and respect for the legal process. They emphasized that the judicial system must be allowed to operate without political interference. Democratic leaders and liberal news anchors called for a fair and unbiased examination of the facts. Amidst the political chaos, there were voices calling for calm and due process. They maintained that Hunter, like any other citizen, deserves a fair trial, and the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. The American legal system, they argued, must uphold its principles of justice and fairness, regardless of the individuals involved. Section 6. Political firestorm: Hunter Biden as a campaign issue. Hunter Biden's troubles have become a political football. Republicans have weaponized the allegations against his father. They claim it shows poor judgment and potential corruption. Democrats counter that it's a desperate attempt to smear their opponent. They argue Hunter's issues are separate from his father's presidency. The reality is more nuanced. It's impossible to completely separate the two. Hunter's actions reflect, to some extent, on his father's judgment. However, it's crucial to avoid guilt by association. Joe Biden's actions, or lack thereof, are what matter most. Section 7. Media frenzy, coverage and its consequences. The media has covered Hunter Biden's story extensively. Some outlets have been accused of bias both for and against him. Others have focused on the salacious details, rather than the bigger picture. This coverage has undoubtedly impacted public opinion. It's fueled partisan divides and made it difficult to have a nuanced conversation. The media has a responsibility to report accurately and fairly. However, they also face pressure to generate clicks and views. This creates a tension between informing the public and exploiting a sensational story. Section 8. Unanswered questions: what lies ahead for Hunter? As of today, many questions remain unanswered. Will Hunter Biden face further legal action? Will new evidence emerge? What impact will this have on his father's presidency? These are questions that only time can answer. It's important to avoid jumping to conclusions. We need to let the legal process play out and base our judgments on facts, not speculation. The Hunter Biden saga is a cautionary tale. It's a reminder that power and privilege come with a price. Section 9. A legacy in the balance. The Biden family and the future. The Hunter Biden controversy casts a shadow over Joe Biden's legacy. It's a distraction from his agenda and a source of constant attacks. It also raises questions about his judgment, both as a father and a president. How he handles this situation will have lasting consequences. Will he be able to separate his son's troubles from his own presidency? Or will this scandal continue to haunt him? Only time will tell. But one thing is for sure, the Biden family saga is far from over.